Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. We've got a fantastic episode for you this week. So go and get yourself a cold drink and get your feet up for the next 20 minutes or so and come and join Ali and I for the adventure. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? What a way to start the week, what a way to start the episode. Ali and I have found ourselves an absolutely beautiful camp. We're on the banks of Lake Lonsdale, which is about 17 kilometres outside of Stawell in central Victoria, at a free camp called Diggers Rest. And I've got to say, it's absolutely beautiful here. Big shady trees around, lots of green grass, easy access down to a beach. I'm going to throw the drone up in a minute and show you all of these things. But just before I do that, I'll give you a bit of a look around the campsite. And here it is. This is our spot here at Diggers Rest. Absolutely beautiful. Bit of grass on the ground, lots of shade from the trees. There's a couple of fire rings scattered around the campground that you can go and make a fire into. There's a lot of signs up to tell you not to camp underneath the gum trees because of the falling limb danger. That's certainly something you need to be mindful of if you come and stay in places like this. But aren't we spoilt for choice? There's not another soul here. This is absolutely fantastic. The other wonderful thing about staying out here at Diggers Rest is you get an amazing view of the Grampians, and the sunset's just about there. So we're going to come up to this point this afternoon and hopefully capture a beautiful sunset. For our morning walk, and I said to Ali, what do you think of Diggers Rest? And she said to me, where the bloody hell's Diggers Rest? And I said,
We've been to, in my defence, we've been to a lot of campsites in recent times, and obviously my brain was not turned on and thinking about where we were.
So I'll ask her again for you guys. What do you think of this campsite at Diggers Rest, Al?
It's actually very nice. It's very big actually, and there seems to be two parts to the camping area, and we're right on the lake. It's quite lovely, and today is, I think, perfect. There's very little wind. Beautiful sunshine. Yesterday was a bit windy, so I'm quite enjoying it.
It was really windy yesterday, wasn't it? Like it really blew yesterday.
I think on the whole east coast of Australia felt the wind yesterday. It was a bit destructive in some places.
Yeah, it certainly is, but it's a nice place to come and stay. There's no one here at the moment. In fact, I think there was one other van that was in last night on the other side of the campground to us, but just looking over now, I don't think that group there's anymore. I think they've moved on, so yeah, it's been very quiet. But we did hear, or I did read on Wikicamps that over Christmas this was absolutely chock-a-block out here. So,
and I can understand why. On the lake, big area, nice place to come and camp for a few days.
It is, and we'll show you this afternoon, but there is an absolutely stunning sunset over the top of the Grampians, which you get to view right across Lake Lonsdale. It's very, very nice to see. A very short walk from where we've got our caravan set up, just over here, is the beach access, which will bring you down onto the sides of the lake, which is quite a nice little walk. We're not 100% sure whether or not you can actually swim in the lake down here, but there's a lot of algae and stuff, isn't there?
I did read, yes, you could swim, but a lot of people haven't of late because of the algae. It doesn't look too full at the moment, so maybe not wise.
Yes, and the other thing we can't work out whether this is a man-made lake or it's a natural lake. And to me it feels man-made only because of all the tree trunks that are inside of it. But if you know, hit us up in the comment section. We just come down to a part of the camp, so I reckon we probably walked maybe, getting close to 1 kilometre from where we are, and there's plenty of campsites as you go down. So as you enter the campground from the main road, which Google Maps brings you straight into, as you come in, you can either turn right and you'll go up to where we're staying, but if you turn left, you can come follow the track down, and it opens up into a really big camp area down here, which is quite sheltered from the wind because of the mounds that are in front of you. A little less exposed than what we are where we're staying at the moment, but yeah, great little spot down here. One of the best things about living on the road all the time, but it's going away on the weekend or whatever it is that you do or how you travel, is being able to sit back every afternoon and watch some sunsets. And we've seen some pretty good ones, haven't we?
We have been lucky enough, yes.
But we've just seen one over the top of the Grampians, and I've got to say, this is right up there. Check this out. What do you reckon about that one, Al? All right?
It's very nice. It's even different from last night that we watched, so quite beautiful.
It certainly is. And Lake Lonsdale in the foreground really puts a different perception to it, because you just see that yellow glow right across the top of the water. Anyway, we're going to leave you with the sunset and pack it in for the night and get ready to move again tomorrow. Well, good morning everyone. What a beautiful night last night was. Absolutely amazing. And then we wake up to this morning. Check out the lake in the background with the Grampians. It's absolutely beautiful. I've got to say, Diggers Rest has been an absolutely fantastic campsite to come and stay at. And there's so many spaces you can set up. We've been really, really lucky that we've had it all on our own to be able to enjoy like the scenery that's going on behind me right now. Just go for a walk through the bush or just along the water's edge. It's just, yeah, absolutely amazing. But we can't stay here forever. It is time for us to move on today. So the plan is we're going to head down to Ararat, which is about an hour's drive away. There's a free camp down there or a donation camp down there. We're going to set up down there for a few days and base ourselves to explore the area before we continue on down towards the Great Ocean Road. Ali and I are just about to take off to our next location, and I want to give you the biggest tip that I can give you as a caravan on the road if you have a SOG fitted to your toilet. Before you drive anywhere, make sure that you take your vent hose off and put your bung back in, because I tell you what, the one time that you forget, I'm going to say it, shit goes everywhere. Alrighty.
I'm just going to add, when you get to your next spot, don't forget to put it back in because it's a bit whiffy otherwise.
Our first stop in Stawell today is the Athletics Hall of Fame.
It is, yes.
For the Stawell gift, and we're actually walking out on the track as we speak. We're at the start line, and it runs diagonally across the oval, and here's the kicker, it's uphill. We won't be running anywhere today. Just up here in the stand where they have the Stawell gift, it's an old stand built in 1899. It is well worth coming to have a look at when you come here. But the question I have, Al, is we saw the one in Benalla, which is about the same size at their showground. It said it held about 800 people. I'm looking at the seating numbers here and it only goes up to 250. So either they've expanded the seating numbers to accommodate our expanding size.
We are a little bigger than...
They were back then, that's for sure. Or maybe the one down at Benalla might have been just slightly out in its calculation. So that was our visit to the Stawell Athletics Club, and you come and you see the Stawell Hall of Fame as well. What did you think, Al?
I was quite impressed actually. It was a very interesting place, and the lady on the desk who let us go in and have a look, she's part of the club, so she was quite knowledgeable and she was able to give you a lot of backstory. So I think if you're really into athletics and like to have a conversation, it's a good place to come and see the field itself, see the museum and have a chat.
Yeah, it's such a entrenched in Australian history. It's been run over Easter since 1878, I think it was. And it was only stopped for World War II and then during the COVID year, which was
2020.
Yeah, 2020, a little bit disappointing. I'm sure at the speed that these men and women run at, that there's no need, they won't be catching any COVID while they're running. So, but yeah, it's certainly a great thing to come and see. As I said, a part of Australian history, and to be able to go and walk out in the centre of the athletics oval and walk on the grass where they come and do the run. It was really great, wasn't it?
It was very unexpected. I wasn't expecting I'd be allowed to get onto the field, so it was quite good. And they're doing a new mural on one of the walls, and the further you get away from the mural, the better the perspective is. Quite lovely. So they're just finishing it off, I assume, in readiness for 2025.
Yeah, I've got to say that the artist had the day off, so we didn't get to see them while they were painting, but I'm sure if you were here on the day, it'd be quite an interesting thing to come and see. And just a final note, if you want to go and see the museum, it's $5 an adult to go and have a look, and if you've got a concession, it's $4.
And children are $2.
Oh, there you go, kids are $2. So we've just come across from our athletics centre because we're looking for somewhere to sit down and have lunch, and right in behind the Stawell Athletics track you will find Cato Lake Park. It's a beautiful area that you can come and sit and go for a bit of a walk. There's lots of barbecues and stuff here, isn't there, El?
Yes, barbecues, a beautiful play area, toilets and a nice walking track.
There certainly is. And then as you go around the walking track, there's a statue here for one of the locals' identities, Stella Young. Some of you might remember her, and I'll throw in a picture of the statue here. She used to be on TV. I think used to see her a little bit in around the early 2000s and things like that. But yeah, it's a great place to come and visit. Certainly a fantastic place to come down and have your lunch and just relax, isn't it?
I've quite enjoyed my time just sitting and relaxing in the area.
Well, if you're an avid viewer of the channel, you know that Ali and I love living off-grid, and we also love to follow the sun. We think it's the best way to see Australia as you do your big lap. But the downside to that is some days you get some really hot days, and you get some nights that you just can't sleep because the Caravan is just way too hot. And we don't always have enough battery power to spare to run the air conditioner, but we think we found the solution. Check this out. And here it is, our EVACHILL Personal Air Cooler by EVAPOLAR. This is a portable, lightweight evaporative cooler that drops the air temperature in the room simply by drawing hot air in through the back of the unit, passing it through water and the cartridge inside to emit beautifully cool air out the front, particularly on hot and humid days. The EVACHILL has a fantastic fold-away handle which makes it really easy for transportation, particularly after you've filled the unit with water, and it also comes with a small funnel to assist you in that filling process.
It is suggested that you use filtered water into the unit. I use this bottle to help control the flow, but you can also fill it directly from the tap inside of your Caravan. So you don't overfill the unit. It comes with some translucent sides to show the exact water level as you fill it. Once it's full, you can either plug it into your 240 volt or your 12 volt power source. I even use a portable power pack which will run the EVACHILL, and then select any one of the 4 fan speeds that suits you best and sit back and relax as the EVACHILL cools not only you, but it'll drop the temperature inside the room as well. All right, so I've got to be truthful. Between the two of us, Alison spends most of the time in the Caravan, particularly on her bookkeeping days. You can spend a long time in here, can't you?
I can, depending on the time of the month and the time of the quarters, I can spend up to probably 8 hours in front of the computer, yes.
And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we love to follow the sun, which makes the van incredibly hot, and we don't always have enough power to be running the air conditioner all day. But we have installed the EVACHILL by EVAPOLAR. What are your thoughts, Al?
Yeah, no, it's really good. I'm pleasantly surprised with the EVACHILL, just how good it is. It's quite compact. It really does keep me quite cool, keeps the area quite cool, and I'm loving that at the moment because I'm probably am misconservative when it comes to the batteries. I don't like running the batteries, so it's a wonderful addition. And I'm also a person who doesn't like air conditioners like gushing in on me with the air in great speeds, so I'm enjoying the fact that it's got the 4 speeds and I can put it on the lower speed and keeping rather cool, so it's good.
So there you have it. That's our EVACHILL by EVAPOLAR. It's a fantastic addition to our Caravan. I've got to say, Al, it's really turned some sleepless nights into some very peaceful night's sleep.
Yeah, it certainly has. Steve does feel the heat of a night, so it's been a wonderful addition to keep him cool.
It certainly has. And the other thing that I'm looking forward to using it with is with our swag. We intend on doing a lot of camping into the next 12 months or so. And now that we know we can run it off the battery power pack, it's going to be so portable and so easy to take away with us. It's definitely going into the swag.
It has been a wonderful addition, and I think knowing that the battery pack can be used, it's going to make some hot nights very much more enjoyable.
Certainly will. Anyway, if you want to grab yourself an EVACHILL like ours or one of the other great products that EVAPOLAR sell, just scan the QR code that you can see on the screen or visit their website. And if you want to save yourself some money when you get to the checkout, use our exclusive discount code and save yourself a few dollars.
You know I love a bargain.
She certainly does. Anyway, let's get into Ararat. So if you can see the washing over my shoulder at the moment, then you know that we've come to a new site because we always wash before we leave the old site. This time we come to a place just outside of Ararat. It's a donation camp. It's called Greenhill Lake. It's an enormous area that you can come and camp for all types of setups. There's toilets here, there's access to water, there's a dump point, there's hot and cold water showers. I think they are for a small fee to get those. But yeah, it's a great place to come and stay. The only thing I'm going to say is that it is absolutely packed at the moment. There's a lot of caravans here, a lot of people camping, and there's quite a few permanents who also live around the area here. But in general terms, it's a nice place. It's just a little bit dusty. We only intend on staying here for the next couple of days. We're going to use this opportunity to get out and explore in and around Ararat. Just come out and we're sitting outside this afternoon because it's quite warm, isn't it, Al?
Yes, it's very warm in Victoria.
We try not to run the air conditioners, but we're sitting out here to the gentle hum of about 30 generators going at the moment. But we don't use one. That's just the way that we like to travel. But we know a lot of people do like to travel with generators, so they don't bother us too much. It's just low hum, white noise. But we know a lot of people get their hair off, and that might be something you'd like to consider if you're coming to stay at this particular camp, is that obviously a lot of people are going to use them. And of course that they can and they should, but yeah, if you don't like the sounds of generators, this probably isn't the camp for you. It's also quite dusty here, isn't it?
It is very dusty. They obviously haven't had a lot of rain in Victoria to allow the grass to grow, and we've seen that throughout a lot of the state so far, which is a bit of a shame.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's been busy. I mean, we're right here just after Christmas, and I was speaking to a few other campers here this morning who've left today, and they were saying that it was absolutely jam-packed here over Christmas time, and we can see a couple of little ghost camps already set up, so we can only assume that they're set up, ready or in preparation for Australia Day, which is in about a week's time, isn't it, Al?
a week today is the long weekend.
We're going to be well and truly clear here by Australia Day. We found a nice quiet spot a little bit further away, which we're going to head off to. Well, hopefully it's still quiet at that stage there. But just while I've got the camera out, I just want to point something out. This is something I don't like about camping. I'll just quickly show you. So if you have a look over there in the distance, you can see there's a camp over there, and in that camp there's a pink swag. Now, each of their own, as I said before, but in my mind, thinking from a security point of view, this is a big question we always get from people about how secure do you feel. If I see a pink swag, then I just align that to a female. And, you know, if there's a weirdo hanging around, then it makes it pretty easy to find where the females are sleeping of the night. And I know that might be a little bit controversial, but yeah, I'd keep things pretty much standard and have everybody an olive drab if it was me. So we come into the township of Ararat today. We're just going to take a bit of a walk through the main street. It seems to be our thing lately, doesn't it?
It is, but it's beautiful to look at the towns as you drive through them. You can see a lot of the history, Australian history in it.
You certainly can, and this is another town where they've placed some plaques on or some information on some different buildings to tell you what it used to be, and all those sorts of things, so that's always quite interesting. One thing I just said to Alison was that you can see behind the facade the old part of the town, but the new modern part of the town is really starting to shine through with all the modern advertising boards and things like that too, which I think in an extent does cover it up, but you know, we are in a more commercial area now as we move closer to Melbourne, but still a beautiful town. Some great old buildings here around the town hall and the Shire hall and all those sorts of things. It's really nice to come and have a look at.
It is.
So there's plenty of attractions to see when you come into town. We're going to go for a bit of a drive around. We're going to check out, I think it's called J Ward at the old jail. We'll go to the old lunatic asylum, which I don't think is open today. But, sorry, there's a truck in the background. I don't think it's open today, but we'll certainly go and see what we can see down there and just see what else we can discover around town. So we're just going for a bit of a walk around the grounds outside of the old jail here in Ararat. This housed J Ward, which was a ward specifically designed for the criminally insane. Started sometime in the late 1800s and finished in 1991, which was quite interesting. And they did say on the sign that they found a more enlightened way to treat the mentally ill in 1937. I'm not sure what that was. They didn't explain what that was, but it's a nice place to come and have a bit of a walk around. Beautiful gardens. You can certainly come up here and have a bit of a picnic. One Tree Hill lookout, which you'll find in Ararat. You get a beautiful view, 360 degrees all around you. If you have a look over here, that's one of the best views we've had of the Grampians so far since we've been here. And if you go that way for about another 467 kilometres, you'll bump straight into Adelaide. Doesn't seem to matter how far you go up, out, down, where, the bloody flies are just getting thicker and thicker, aren't they?
They're loving us today.
They certainly are, particularly up here on top of the hill. I would have thought they would have stayed down a little bit closer. We come out to Ararat to the lunatic asylum. It's obviously not open. It's only open for tours, and you can't access it unless you go on one of the tours. They do run two types of tours here. There's a day type tour, and there's also a ghost tour. We're going to do a little bit of research. We're going to work out which one's the best one to do. We're going to go ahead and do that. It's probably going to be the ghost tour. Well, here we are. We're at Green Hill Lake, which is just outside of Ararat. We've been here for about the last 3 days. We've used this as our base to explore the local area. It's been quite nice. There's plenty of services in Ararat, so all the supermarkets and all those sorts of things that you need. But it's the campsite that we're going to have a quick talk about. So what have you thought about the campsite here, Al?
The campsite is actually quite good. Like, it's got all the facilities you need. So your showers, your toilets, access to water. It's got the lake, so it's got a boat ramp as well. So, you know, if you want to use the lake for your sporting activities, it's wonderful. But it doesn't have a lot of grass, and it is dusty, and when the cars it is popular, so when the cars go up and down, kicks up the dust, so that probably makes it not so enjoyable. Yeah, and the other thing that Ali didn't mention, there's also a dump point here, so that makes life a lot easier when you come out. I'm just going to say, like, it's a great campground, very, very popular. A lot of people come out here, just not my cup of tea. I don't particularly like these ones where, like, there's a lot of people, and there's been a lot of people here. Yeah, this just isn't my type of campsite. Yeah, it is very busy, and I think we've been lucky and enjoyed less crowded spots. So for us, it feels a little bit crowded at the moment. So there's lots of campsites, I think, are in this area that we can get out and enjoy, and we'll probably head off and find one of those lovely campsites soon. Yeah, in fact, we've got one. So we're going to move tomorrow a little bit closer towards the Grampians. We found a campsite out there. The name escapes me, but I'll show you that when we get out there tomorrow. And we're going to use that as our base to explore this eastern side of the Grampians. We're not going to do the western side of the Grampians yet. We don't actually know where we're going to go to after we've been to the Grampians, do we? We're going to do the Great Ocean Road, but we don't know where we're going to go after that. No, we just probably treading water a little bit just to see out the rest of the school holidays, and we're starting to see it starting to settle down, but we do have Australia Day long weekend coming up, so it will be popular, which is wonderful to see everyone out and about having a little mini break. Oh, definitely, yes. And if you see us, make sure you come over and grab a cup of coffee or have a quick beer. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Ali and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I particularly liked that camp at Lake Lonsdale. That was, that's just what camping is all about. Beautiful scenery, beautiful night, solitude. Can't ask for much more than that. Anyway, if you liked today's episode, make sure that you hit the like button before you go. If you have any questions or comments about today's episode, make sure you hit us up in the comment section. And of course, as usual, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so, because it really allows our channel to grow. Come and join us next week when we go and stay in a little town in central Victoria where Australian rules football was born, and we use it as our base to explore the beautiful Grampians. We really think you're going to enjoy that episode, so make sure you set an alarm for 7 o'clock next Saturday. But until then, you guys have yourselves a great week. We can't wait to see you. We'll see you then.